Share the book. Tell the other one. Keep going.
My book of poetry. All right, so congratulations, Miss Bianca Roberts. And I have a few questions. I just wanted to know, can you provide a brief summary of your book for your readers who may not be familiar with it?
It's like a collection of poems about different life experiences. Even the name itself, it's like, it sounds cool. You know, my mom gave me the idea, it's called Scion. But it's also like meant to be a utopia or a dream world. So I feel like it's different like aspects of life and, you know, very ethereal, I guess you could say, in some of the ideas it's trying to explore. At least that's my goal.
So what inspired you to write this book?
I wanted to express myself in some way, so I thought a book would be the best way to do it. And you know, poetry, it's an interesting medium. I feel like it's not necessarily the most popular one, but it's a way to get across different ideas that isn't just through one long story. Because like long stories, I mean, honestly, a lot of work, like writing a 200-page book or something. But you know, with poetry, it's like, you could kind of just sit around and think about it throughout the day and be like, what I want to write about today, you know? It's different little pockets of experience, I guess.
All right, interestingly enough, you said that about writing, because I wanted to also ask you, so it's a two-part question. How do you find the time to write? And what is the best time of day for you to write?
I mean, I found the time to write, I mean, you just kind of find time. I would push it off a lot because, you know, I was working with like a publishing company. With the publishing company, you have deadlines and stuff. And realistically, the best way to do it is probably doing about a poem a day. But I wouldn't do that. I would instead push it off and probably do like 8 poems in one night in just like a block. Probably like, it'd be 11 or 12. And sometimes I'd write stuff throughout the day. I'd be like, oh, these two things rhyme, or oh, this is an interesting idea to explore. And then I would go home at night and then at like 12 or something, just start writing down different poems and kind of revising and editing and figuring out what worked, for me at least, and what I liked and didn't like. So yeah, that was my time. I would get inspired at night, basically.
At night is the time. So your book is fiction or non-fiction?
I mean, it's poetry. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't really fit into either of those categories. It's like, it's not based on real experiences in the sense that these things happen, but it's like, it's based on, it's more like a feeling in certain instances. I'm sure if you read some of the poems, you'll be like, oh, I connect with that because it reminds me of this thing. And I think that's more of the idea, you know, because I wrote them with like, oh, this reminds me of this thing, you know, in mind, of like things I've watched or like felt.
So you want the readers to create their own experiences with the poems, not necessarily an experience that you had in mind, it's an experience for them.
Yeah. I feel like that's the best way to experience poetry in general. It's like, yeah, it has my own meaning, and you could try to figure out that meaning if you want, but whatever you get from it, and if it helps you, then, you know, take that and run with it.
The last question that I have for you here, what important advice would you give to a first-time author?
I don't know, just keep writing, you know. It's hard, it's definitely hard. Even with something a little bit simpler, maybe like poetry, you know. It's just, you kind of just got to put your ideas onto a page and then kind of just keep going through the process over and over again. I mean, for some people, it works better if they just write out everything that they have in mind, and then after revising it, for me, I would go through it and I'd be like, it depends on the day. I'd work on a poem, and some days I'd be like, this is it. This doesn't need any fixing, and other days I'd be like, I've got no idea what to write. So it would take like an hour of me just being like, I don't like that, and erasing it, and then like, I don't like that, and erasing it again, until I found like a word or a meaning or something that I wanted, or even if it just sounded good, and then I'd be like, okay, that's it. So sometimes you just gotta keep going, keep writing, you know, think of ideas for your book, you know, just keep going.
Okay, actually I have one more question. This is actually about the book. It's one of the poems. One of your poems, like, I have a few. I have my top 5, maybe top 6. But one that stood out to me, and why I want to ask is because it stood out to me. Define caged for me.
Caged.
What headspace were you in with caged?
Can I look into it? Okay. I know the poems, but you know, they all start to blend in after a while. Okay. Yeah. It's like, I tend to spend a lot of time in my room. So it's like, it's a good and a bad thing where I'm in my room a lot, so I find it to be my comfort zone, but at the same time, it's like, and it's not even like I see me being in my room as a bad thing. It's just, it's one of those things where after a while, you start to wonder, oh, should I like adventure out into the world more? Which I guess kind of also connects with the poem after, with like the hiking one, that one too. It's like a similar idea. It's like, maybe I should, you know, like see different perspectives, or I don't know, just do more. Adventures, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Bianca Roberts, and where can you go see from again?
Amazon, and it's gonna be on Barnes and Noble soon. So yeah, both of those platforms.
Okay, anything else you want to tell the people about yourself? Actually, they may want to know how is college going for you because they haven't heard from you in a while. So how was college for you? College life?
College is it's going good. I mean, you know, writing my book, so I'm making progress. I'm trying to, you know, just like Cage says, I'm trying to get out there more. So yeah, it's going pretty good.
Awesome. Congratulations, Bianca.
Thank you. Intruder. Seeds drop to the ground, hoping to be brought to life. It looks like flowers are in season, and they survived despite the strife. The bitter winter, the sweltering sun, until it all became undone. The leaves wither and drop, continuing every day, non-stop. As the flowers were on their last breath, a stranger passed by. The sweat off the stranger's brow dripped onto the flowers, an entirely new supply. Reviving the once dead leaves, the stranger walked on. The flowers could once again enjoy the cool breeze. As the flowers called for him to make it known what he had done, it seemed to be too late. The stranger had disappeared. Uphill battle. Swords sing as they clash, arrows fly making a splash where they land. The general and his soldiers sprint through the ashes, ignoring their bodies riddled with scratches. The debris falls upon them. Sisyphus would be proud. The soldiers never noticed, not at all through the cloud. After everything, they barely moved an inch. Try again. Hands trembling as I stack the tower, it crumbles. Right in front of me, it has fallen apart. Try again. The brush scrapes against the easel. The teacher scoffs at the disappointing image in front of her, nearly surprised such a drawing isn't illegal. The canvas rips in half. Try again. The numbers ring inside my head. What did he just say? The cash is here and it's my first day. I'll just hand him the money. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, I think I've been robbed. Try again. Snip, snip, snip. Strands of hair flow onto the floor. Distracted, I realize that might be one too many. There's not a strand of hair left on her head. Try again. I delegate with precision. I don't have to ask for permission. Everything is my decision. I think I found it. Perfection.